All right, everyone, we're joined on the dais by Arizona head coach Chip Hale, Daniel Susak, and outfielder Chase Davis. We're going to go into questions after our opening statement from Coach Hale, but take it away.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Ole Miss for a great tournament. They came out and they got us the first night, and going through that losers bracket is tough, very tough. And our guys, I'm so proud of this club. All year, obviously, played their hearts out and stuck together and through some tough times at times, and they left it out there. That's all we asked these last couple days. Just do the best you can. Those pitchers they battled best they could today, and it just couldn't get it done. But all you can ask for is effort when you're in my position, and these two guys epitomize it right here. They've gave everything they could to the program and the university, and I'm very proud that they call them Wildcats.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. We're going to start with questions. If you do have one on Zoom, please use the hand raise function and use it early. We're going to start in the room, however. We'll start with Walter Villa.
Hey, Coach, I know their whole team obviously hit the ball real well today, but I would wonder what your thoughts were specifically on Alco, who was the MVP of the regional, and what was so difficult about him.
Yeah, he hit everything. We tried to go in on him a little bit there to maybe neutralize him, but he was good enough to take those pitches and drew the walk that time. And then anytime the pitch was out over the plate, he just he got good barrel on it, and the ball was flying pretty good today. So he just was superior to what we could do. I mean, you got to tip your cap, like I've said numerous times in these press conferences, but he was the MVP of the tournament for a reason.
It's not impossible to win a regional after you lose the first game.
Right.
But when you do lose the first game, you kind of realizing at that point that it's going to be an uphill battle just because of the number of games you'll have to play and the arms and so forth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I thought it was so tough here because of the weather. Let's face it. I thought everybody, I'd like to include that, is Joe Carbone and his whole group did such a great job of communicating to us throughout the weekend. And it's not their fault. It's Mother Nature, and it's part of the deal here in Miami. You got to be ready, and I thought our guys responded pretty well after the first night. So I just want to thank them for everything they did for us here. It's not impossible, Michael. You're right. It's not impossible. It does show you, though, and it's something that we need to work on in the off season. We need to get deeper in our bullpen. We need guys that are going to be able to handle these situations. I mean, Quinn Flanagan threw 3 times in 24 hours, right? That's pretty impressive. 3 games in 24 hours. And that's something you really don't want to do to a kid. Now he's a senior. We're hoping he gets a chance to play at the next level, but boy, I would hate for anybody to get hurt. So we may need to get a little deeper at that part of our roster.
Chase or Daniel, what did this team show you with the ability to bounce back after that first game and have to play 2 yesterday and then turn right around and stay neck and neck with this game until it got maybe out of hand in the second half?
To me, I was actually talking about it yesterday to some family members, and it just kind of gave me a reflection on who we are as a team and as a family. And it kind of makes me think back to the beginning of the season and all the times that we had to go through, which were hard, and whether we got through them or not, it just showed me that, this is who we are, and this is the kind of guys I surround myself with each and every single day. So just being able to do that yesterday just showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of fight, and I told my mom, and as soon as I got home, it was literally one of the craziest game I ever played in my whole life. So I think it just showed resilience and fight.
Daniel, thanks for being here. I know it's hard for you, but you've been here for a coaching transition. You're kind of the program's been handed off to Chip. What do you think of what the future holds for U of A under Coach Hale?
Yeah, I was telling my family the other day, I think the second best decision I ever made was coming to Arizona, but I think the best one was staying here. I don't think the program could be in better hands. I think the coaching staff and the players all understand it, they get it, and I think it's in great hands for the rest.
Chase, same thing for you. What do you make of next year and beyond?
Just blessed to be surrounded and be with guys like this to my right and guys that are walking on our bus right now. They're family, and I love these guys. And we play the game that we love each and every single day with each other. It's something growing up that we started getting into. But as you get older, you start to meet new people, and they're life friends. And Chip told us today before the game, the guys that you're looking at right now are people you're going to know for the rest of your life. So I think that's what this game has taught me. Next year, moving on, it's family, and we're with each other. But I think we have a lot to look back on in a positive way.
Coach Hale, I know it's hard to put things in perspective when you're fresh off of
Right.
a loss like this, but how would you just kind of summarize your first season?
No,
as a college
it's
coach?
it's not hard for me because I think about it all the time. You know, I've done a lot of things in pro ball, whether it's playing or coaching or managing, and the joy that this season gave me to be back at my university that I'm so proud of, to fill a position that Jerry Kendall filled, and I hold in the highest regards. It's very special to me, and it's special because of the people. And like I said, the program is about the people who are in it. The people who are texting me right now, all the alumni, all these people that are so important to me and so important to our university, our administration. It's such a wonderful place to work, and it's a breath of fresh air for me every day I enter High Corbett Field. And like I said, it's about the relationships and about the people. So I'm very happy about it. We're not happy we're not in Omaha. It's about, we want to win, but it's also about these guys and developing them as men and people who are going to be productive people in our society. And we have a lot of them, whether they're Major League Baseball players or lawyers or doctors or engineers. We got a bunch of guys. These are student athletes, so I'm very proud of them.
Have you started working on your pitch to try to convince guys who get drafted to stick in college or go to college? It's not
Well,
something
we're,
that you
we're
do.
hoping we have a whole bunch, and we have to give a lot of pitches, whether it's our current players or our recruits. We think we recruit at a high level, and that's going to be part of the challenge. But everybody has to do what's best for them, number one, and we want the best for them. So we'll sit with them and we'll explain why coming to the University of Arizona is probably a better thing when you're a senior in high school, and to get a little bit of seasoning like Daniel did. And like Chase is doing, they had an opportunity to sign out of high school, and I think it's the best decision they ever made. So we have our pitch. If that's your question. We have we have a real good pitch.
Yeah, Daniel, you were able to rank your decisions. Is it possible to rank like your memories from your time here? Is there one that soars to the top of the list?
I don't know. I mean, I have a bunch. I think when I look back on it, I think just being out there with the guys on the team stands out more than anything. Not the memories themselves, just who you share it with, I think stands out to me the most.
Coach, guys, seeing no more hands up, we'd like to thank you. It's been a joy having you guys here. We wish you all the best in the future.
Well, we appreciate everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for making the trek out here, Michael. Brian, that's great.
No problem.
Love you. I love you, boys. Great job. We're gonna go back out that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. Nice job.
Thank you, sir.
Is phone supposed to be here, or is that Coach? Is that Coach with that phone?
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just making sure that there's Coach didn't forget it.
Alrighty, everyone, we are joined now by the 2022 NCAA Coral Gables Regional Champions, Ole Miss. We're joined by head coach Mike Bianco, infielder Peyton Chatinier, and first baseman Tim Elko, Coral Gables Regional MVP, I might add. Coach, we're going to start with an opening statement, then we'll go into questions. We'll go for our media members in the room, and then we'll go on Zoom. We have quite a few people on Zoom joining us. If you do have a question for Coach or either of our student athletes, please use the hand raise function. Coach, take it away.
First, I'd like to congratulate, the University of Arizona and Coach Chip Hale. What a great year, they've had, and in a great tournament. And we know firsthand it wasn't easy for any of us that went through this, and no fault of anybody, but just travel, to get here. We traveled on 3 different planes to get here on Wednesday night. Their plane got detoured to Fort Myers, and they had to bus over in the middle of the morning on Thursday morning. Of course, we all get rained out on Friday and don't play, and them, like us, play the 10:30 game, on Saturday night and don't get done until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they came back and played a doubleheader. So just a tough road for them, but a tremendous year, and a big thank you to the University of Miami, especially their grounds crew. It's one of those. Baseball's an outdoor sport, and sometimes it happens like this. I don't know if we've ever been hit by a tropical storm before. I've been to a lot of regionals, but they did a heck of a job, and the grounds crew, when you played on the field tonight, you would have never known. They've got near 10 inches of rain over the last several days. So with that, I'm super proud of my guys. I've said it for 3 nights in a row. It hasn't been an easy road for us. Not just this weekend. But for the last month, and because of 2 guys like the guys sitting next to me, Peyton and Tim and others, in that dugout, they've held it together and just played really, really well. And we told you about the obstacles that happened to get here, but when you talk about the field, Canisius, and then of course Arizona, who eliminated us last year in a super regional that got to Omaha, and then of course the ACC champs in the University of Miami. This was if not the most difficult regional, one of the most difficult. And so to get placed here, we were just happy to be somewhere, but we played well, and I'm very proud of our guys.
Great. Thank you, Coach. We'll go into questions in the room. We'll start with Walter Villa.
Tim, congratulations on your performance. 2 questions for you. One is you're from the Tampa area, so can you tell me who you had here supporting you, and also just how you were seeing the baseball? What do you attribute your success? You had a great year, but especially this weekend.
Yeah, I had some family, just my parents and my sister, but it was nice to have them here, and cool to be back in my home state. But I was just trying to put good swings on good pitches this weekend, and it was working well for me. But it's a lot easier to do well when you've got such a good support system around you, and such other good hitters around you in the lineup. It makes hitting a lot easier when there's so many good guys around you. So props to really the whole team for doing such a great job this weekend, and our pitching staff did an amazing job as well. So just all around, it's a lot easier to play well when you've got really good players behind you.
When you had that last single, I think your last hit, I saw you had a smile when you reached first base. It was like you couldn't make it out if you wanted, it seemed like.
Well, no, I was trying to hit another home run, so wasn't really looking for a single, but it's all good. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, you were talking about vibes the other day. What's the vibe in the dugout when you're up 13, knowing a super is kind of inevitable? How loose is everybody kind of feeling through the game?
It's definitely very loose, but believe it or not, there's a lot of people in the dugout still saying, hey, we got to put more runs on, play solid defense, we got to make our pitches, do everything we can do. And because baseball's so crazy, literally anything can happen, and this is such a big moment for us, such a big game, we don't want to take it for granted.
Tim, I know this is 2 straight years in a row where you've had big regionals. What is it about you hitting in regionals that kind of allows you to have this kind of success?
Yeah, just trying to win the game. Really, trying to do anything I can to help us win, and I just want to win. So I just try to do that every single day, whatever I can do. And like I said before, it's a lot easier to play well when you've got such a good team behind you. So we're really proud of how the whole team played.
We've got some hands up on Zoom. We'll go to John Sokoloff first. John, go ahead.
Hey guys, congrats. So Tim, you guys, not to harp on it too much, I know we've talked about it a lot, but you guys were, literally the last team in. People projected you guys to not make the tournament, and then to come in here and run the table the way that you did, especially for a guy like you who's in his last year. How kind of grateful are you, not just to have this moment, but what does it mean to you to be able to, have this run with your team, in this regional in the way that you did?
It's a great moment. It doesn't really matter what rank you are getting into the tournament or whatever. we just have full belief in ourselves and so much confidence in ourselves that this is no surprise to us. We knew the whole season that we had a great team, and sure, we had a stretch where we weren't playing our best baseball, and but we never doubted ourselves, never pointed fingers, and just continued to believe in ourselves. So this really doesn't come as a huge surprise to us that we're able to play well, and we're just really proud of how we played.
Great. We'll go next to Joe Cook. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Congratulations. First, I guess, how surprising was this win for you guys? 22 runs, the most ever in NCAA tournament game. How surprising was this performance from you guys, and what do you think that does for you going forward, knowing that you can put up 20 plus in the NCAA?
I don't want to say it comes to a surprise, but I also don't want to make it seem like we were taking Arizona lightly. It's just I think the way the cards fell, and like Tim had kind of mentioned earlier, everyone was doing great. The whole team pitched well and hit well and did everything like that. So I don't want to say it came to a surprise at all, but I know we have that in us for sure.
Go next to Michael Katz. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Mike. Yesterday you talked about needing your stars to come through in these sorts of moments. To have Tim do what he did, and just kind of knowing what he's been through in his career, just how special is it to kind of see him have those moments?
Yeah, really cool. And, kind of to John's question, being the last team in and all of that, I think, and I've said this before, to our beat writers, I think before, we came to Miami, where if we were not to get in, how disappointing that would have been. And it's always disappointing if you don't get in. But especially this group, and especially Tim, three-time captain, and a lot of his older teammates. That would have been super disappointing. So to watch them get this opportunity and make the most of it, to play so well, is as a coach, that's your reward. To watch the kids play and succeed, and sometimes fail like we did this year, and then pick themselves back up and put themselves back in position to succeed again.
We've got Austin Eldridge. Austin, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. 5 different players for your team made the all-regional team with Elko and Chatinier, Gonzalez, and Elliott and Johnson. Just talk about what it means to you as a coach to have that kind of performance from your team and that kind of recognition for your team after a regional like this.
Well, it's really cool, and I don't mean to make light of it, but that's what usually happens when you win. And it's not because you win, you get the players on the team. It's really the reason that you won is because you played well. And you played well because guys, had great tournaments like the guys you mentioned. And so that's not surprising. I think if you look around, the country, that's probably very similar. That's the reason we had success this weekend and played so well, as we had, many parts. Tim, obviously the MVP and had a tremendous, tournament, but so did Peyton, so did Gonzo. DeLucia, was excellent on Friday night. Wasn't selected. So there's guys that weren't on the team that, were super for us. Our bullpen, Josh Mallets was terrific. And so we had a lot of guys play well. And so, again, that's the reason that we had success, is because we had so many guys play well here.
We'll go 2 more on Zoom. We'll start with Chase Parham. Chase, go ahead.
Mike, obviously Garrett Wood getting a little action today, 3 quality at bats, and that 10-pitch at bat in the 5th that really kind of sprung it open when you blew it open there.
Man, you can pick them out, can't you, Chase? Wow. Yeah, you're right. There's parts in a game, and on a couple different levels. You're going game wise, where that was a big at bat, and the game was still intact. And but I also thought that was huge for a guy. I want to believe, and I may be wrong. Mitch may be able to help me. I think that's his first start. For us this year, and he's starting in a regional final, and first ball's hit to him. And that's kind of the cool thing about baseball. The ball finds you, right? Your first start, you're in a regional final, and the first ball hit by the opponent goes right to you. But he was terrific, had great at-bats all night. But, again, not something we didn't think was going to happen. I mean, he's worked so hard. He's a super, super teammate, and he deserved, tonight.
We'll go back to the room.
Obviously a very familiar opponent coming up with Southern Miss now. Just First off, how special is that for Mississippi, do you think, having two teams going against each other?
You know, I said something, Nick, you know, last year in the regional. I think, you know, at the end, you look up and we had three teams in regional finals. Obviously, Southern, us, and then of course State in their regional final. But again, you know, it's neat. You know, a population of about 3 million people in our state, and there might be 3 million people in Miami, right? And we had 3 people in our entire state, and so really cool, and obviously tremendous respect for that program, for you know what Scott Berry's done there. I don't know, you know, outside our region, and it's a shame because they're not in the SEC or the ACC or some conference where I think that hurts them nationally, but they're as good as any program in the country.
Two really good games against them this year. Just what did you learn from those two games, and how much can you take from midweek games?
You know, it's tough. You know, the thing is we don't see the pitching staff, you know, or at least the starters. You see some of the relievers, you know, so the scouting report for the hitters won't be as far, you know, for us. But with all the video that's available to us now, that's not really, you know, it wouldn't matter, you know, who you're playing. I think it probably more the topic would be, you know, going there. Obviously, they have a great fan base. You know, I think we broke the attendance record last time we were there about a month ago, and we don't have a lot of our fans show up on Tuesday night, but I'm thinking a lot will show up this weekend when we get there.
We've got 2 last hands up on Zoom. We'll go back to John Sokoloff. John, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I talked with you the other day about like the pitching staff and the bullpen arms and those kind of guys, but you guys are 11-3 in your last 14 games, and over that span, I mean, we knew the offense was.
John, I think we lost.
Yeah, you're giving up. You guys are allowing 4.28 runs per game, like in that 14 game stretch when you're 11-3. How much of a security blanket is that for you as a coach?
One that we haven't had, you know, all year. As you know, John, it's been kind of up and down for us as far as the pitchers, but you know, not just the relievers. The bullpen was outstanding. Today was a tough day to pitch with the wind blowing out and as warm as it was. You could see not just Derek, but you know their pitchers, you know, struggled to keep the ball in the yard. But our bullpen's been fabulous. You know, somebody told me that we didn't give up an earned run, you know, this weekend, you know, from the bullpen. And so, obviously as a coach, you know, when you're holding the other team down, and you have the offense that we have, you know, it's a pretty good security blanket.
We'll wrap this up with Joe Cook. Joe, go ahead.
All right, this is for the players. Of course, we heard from Coach Bianco about the Southern Miss matchup. I asked you guys, the last time you guys saw them, you won, and that was part of your strong finish to the regular season. So knowing that you had success over them fairly recently, what are some of the things that kind of stand out to you about this matchup, playing in Hattiesburg, a rematch from last year's regional when it was at your house, just some of the emotions and things that you guys are looking forward to when facing the Golden Eagles again?
I expect this to be a great series, and but to be honest, if you would have asked us, you know, 2 weeks ago who we wanted to play, I don't think it would have mattered. You know, it's really cool that we get to play Southern Miss. I think it's going to be great, but at the end of the day, it's another team that, you know, we just have to beat and keep moving forward.
Yeah, just to add to Peyton, you know, I think I kind of feel the same way. I would speak for the whole team that, you know, to us it doesn't really make a big difference who we have to play to get to Omaha. You know, we're happy to have won this regional and ready to play, you know, whatever team was next. I think it's cool that it's going to be in Mississippi because I think we'll have a good crowd there, a good Ole Miss fan base showing, and I think it'll be a really cool series. But, you know, we're just excited to keep playing and continue to write our story.
Awesome. Coach, gentlemen, congratulations on winning. You'll be having some fans down here in Coral Gables rooting for you the rest of the way. Have a safe trip and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
You thirsty?
Jeez.